Expenditure method. Expenditure method is also called as the outlay method. Under this method, the total expenditure incurred by the society in a particular year is added together. So in this method, the total expenditure incurred by the society in a particular year is added together. So this is from the expenditure side. So far we have seen the product method, then we saw the income method. Income method was through the distribution side. Now the third method is expenditure method, and here in this method national income is calculated through the total expenditure incurred by the society in a particular year. So in the expenditure method, GNP is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. What is C? C is consumption expenditure. I is investment expenditure. G is government expenditure, and X minus M is equal to net export. X minus M is equal to net export. X is exports and M is imports. So this is national income calculated from the expenditure. So it includes our personal consumption expenditure, net domestic investment, government expenditure on consumption, as well as capital goods and net exports. So symbolically, it can be given as GNP is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. Here the national income is calculated through the expenditure, through the total expenditure incurred by the society. So what are the precautions to be taken? Again, here we have the precautions. Number one, second-hand goods. What do you mean by that? The expenditure made on second-hand goods should not be included. Second point is purchase of shares and bonds. Shares and bonds are mere financial assets and they do not reflect on the expenditure. So we need not add this. Purchase of shares and bonds. Expenditure on purchase of old shares and bonds in the secondary market should not be included. Why? Because shares and bonds are mere financial assets and they do not reflect on any production activity of goods and services. They do not create any goods or service. So they need not be included while calculating the national income. Third point, transfer payments. What are transfer payment? Already we have seen that a transfer payment is a redistribution of income and wealth by means of the government making the payment without a production of any good or service. A payment made or income received for which there are no goods and services engaged. Such a exchange, such a payment is called as transfer payments. Examples are pension and subsidies. Last one, expenditure on intermediate goods. You have raw materials, they are called as intermediate goods or finished goods. So we should not add the expenditure which are made on intermediate goods. Expenditure on seeds or fertilizer by a farmer cannot be included in the national income calculation. So these are the precaution which has to be taken. Expenditure, if you take the expenditure made on the intermediate goods, then it becomes a double counting. You calculate the good at the initial stage, then at the final stage, if you add like that, it becomes a double counting problem. So you have to add only the expenditure made at the final stage. So expenditure on intermediate goods cannot be added in the national income. Did you understand, girls? So today we have seen the various concepts or the various methods of calculating the national income. The various methods of measuring national income are product method, income method, and expenditure method. We saw the product method, then the precautions to be taken while calculating through the product method, Then we saw income method and the precautions to be taken while calculating national income through income method. Then we saw the expenditure method and the precautions. I think we will stop the class with this. I will be sending you the materials and the homework for the lesson taught today. Kindly go through the Google Classroom and the WhatsApp group. And in case you have any doubts or questions, please post your questions in the WhatsApp group, or you can just give me a missed call and I will call you. Thank you for the patient listening, girls.